Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. In the previous episode, we were mainly concentrating on the new cell block, the cell block C, which is all about grading, and overall I'm pretty happy with the design, and because of that we've now got a lot of people who have just arrived. We should probably check out and see if there is any ones that are of note. Obviously this person here, this is the legendary prisoner that I believe is returning, and they are a snitch, so I've immediately put those into the protective custody area, but a lot of others traits here, so I will have to keep an eye on that one. Now these prisoners won't necessarily be moving directly to here because, well, they won't have a grading, whereas a lot of the prisoners here... Oh, did you just flash a bottle of booze there? I believe you did. Search prisoner. And, oh, they've just... so they've flashed a bottle of booze. They've thrown up right as they enter here, even though there was a toilet to the left there. I mean, they could have used the porcelain telephone, if anything, but no, apparently not. Anyway, so, yes, a lot of the prisoners that are in here and, indeed, down here, those will be moved over to this new cell block. A couple of things about this cell block. Well, firstly, I will go ahead and add in a large window in this section because I missed that off. A lot of people have not really been overly keen on, not necessarily the outside showers, but mainly the lack of the shower inclusion in at least the higher graded cells. I understand, it's just a decision that we've taken. I wanted to mirror it to have an outside shower similar to this one. The grading is quite high anyway. Over to logistics and room quality, you can see we've got that cell quality rating is 9 out of 15. Originally it only went up to 10, but I believe it now goes up to, well, it does go up to 15. This one's grade, that one is grade, hang on, that is grade 10. That one's 10. Oh, yeah, because these are a little bit smaller. Fair enough. So I'm pretty happy with that. And you can see over here we've got prisoners who have, well, it's grade 0, and they are allotted up to 2. 2, 4, 4, 2, 2, 3, some zeros. They're most likely the ones that have recently arrived. But hopefully this will have a positive impact on the people. And, yeah, I don't think we will... I don't think we'll be going and putting shower heads in there. I may change your mind and alter it later on, but we shall see. Let's go over to our deployment and then to patrols, and I want to set up a blue patrol around the outside. Like, oh, hang on, that's a bit of a problem because I can't. If I connect this up, it's going to be. It's going to connect up to that, which means we'll have like a conflicting piece. So if I use magenta, that would be better. So we're going to use magenta patrol, then a magenta patrol, and then a blue patrol, which will go down the center here. And in the middle, we will assign a guard. We'll also assign a dog handler to the outside and to the inside as well. So we've got all of our patrols going on there. A couple of other things that I wanted to touch on. Obviously, little bits of flooring missing here and there, but I've hopefully resolved that. And the big one, this is not in the middle. You would have thought that planning it off meticulously would have sort of pointed this out, and you know, it would have been of note. And yeah, it's not in the middle. I mean, quite clearly it ain't in the middle because that isn't there. So if we go to walls, it's going to be 52. It is 52, and then this one, well, mathematically has to be 50, and it is 50, which means that these are off-center. So we will need to basically move it down by a little bit to there, and then redo all of this. I may do that. It just depends on whether or not there is a desire to do it. And most likely, if I do build that, it'll be later on in the series, and then even then I'll probably forget. But I'm not going to spend much time doing that because I do think it is, let's say, a bit of a waste of time at this stage when we can be building other things. What other things, you ask? Well, there's actually quite a number of things I would like to build, and I did ask what do you think we should do, and the overwhelming consensus was to get in the yards and mainly flower therapy. So that's what we are going to do. We're going to have a yard. Obviously, this is just going to be a pathway that goes along to there, and then a pathway along to there. And then we are going to have in the center here another pathway and 2 very large flower gardens. They may actually be slightly different in terms of design, but we shall see. But 2 huge flower gardens in order to run flower therapy and just make it look quite nice. And what I may do as well is in the center here, I might maybe have like a feature. So this will go around like so, and around and around, and then we can actually, if we go a little bit further, if we go say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then sort of remove those, it means we can have, well, quite a nice central section. Actually, if we go even further, that might Might even be better, mightn't it? So if we do that and that, then remove those, and then we've got a lovely central section here, which we can... Is there such things as fountains in the game? I thought there was something like that added. You've got things like topiaries and garden gnomes, gongs on it, lanterns, etc. Let's have a look. Just going to type in water. There is a stone water spout. Stone Gothic head, which, when attached to a water supply, will spout water from its mouth. Okay, and... got flowers, watering cans, a coffin bed. When was that added? I'm not convinced I really need that in my life. Oh, there we go. There's a fountain. Oh, it's fairly poor. Place in water and create a relaxing fountain feature. Brilliant. We'll make that water then, because I believe we can do flooring, landscaping, and then water. Yes, that's what we'll do. That's what we have decided. Right, just going to double check to make sure this is roughly in the middle, and it is definitely not. 5 there. And then 7 there. So obviously we're gonna go to our pathing. So pathing, and then remove that, and then obviously check that one out as well. And we've got a nice centralized 6 and 6, and then in the middle it'll be 6 across. Yep, that is good. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. So let us go ahead and go over to flooring, over to the concrete tiles, and when we're concrete tiles, we're going to run down there, we're going to run these across, this is going to run across to there. Similarly, we'll do that there as well, and then in the center as well. So over to that one, to that section, and then we're going to put the yards and flower therapy stuff in. I'm going to wait until that's been built first, and then I'll go ahead and change that. In terms of money, we have more than enough cash. It's ridiculous, basically, on how much money we are making. But we put a lot of that down to the amount of people working in the bakery and also in the restaurant as well. So I'm very happy with that, and it seems to be working out. We've got punishment at 7 with reform at 8, so I think that's either equal or higher than it's ever been. I think we've seen 7, but 8... can't remember, but very good. Security's increased up to 2. Health is still at -1. I find it very difficult to have health anything other than 0 or below. It's 0 or above, should I say. In fact, I can't recall ever reaching higher levels of health. You just have to turn loads of stuff off, I find. But anyway, prison value is just shy of 700,000 generic units of currency. Daily profits will fluctuate, but currently stand at 31,000. 8 staff fatalities, 147 capacity, 3 deaths in custody with 1 prisoner escaping, and we've had 90 people paroled early with a 7% reoffending chance, and reoffending rate actually says 9 there. So overall, pretty happy. We can check that out with the reform tab here. Punishment is high, reform is high. Average work experience grade is actually low. I'm surprised on that. I thought that would have been a bit higher. Security grade is 3, so that's okay. 3 out of 5 is reasonable. And then our average health grade is -1 because, of course. And we can see all the prisoners that we've had released, and there's been some of them reoffend, but there you go. A lot of them, most of them in fact, have been reformed. Overall, you can see we are on a positive 1,000 for the rewards. That's, well, for net profit for yesterday only. But looking through this, it seems to be that we have got a lot more money from doing reform. So, yeah, I can imagine that if you have this turned on, if you have this option turned on, let me just check to see why this person has extremely volatile. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I can imagine that it would be very difficult to play this game now if you had the reform stuff on but ran no programs. I can imagine it being quite a disaster. Just going to put it up to max speed and let people crack on. There was some comments regarding this area here and to put some of the items in the canteen, but I can't for the life of me remember what it was. There was a good suggestion to place a couple more things in here, and I think it was it bookshelves? I think it was bookshelves, because we currently don't have any where they can read. There's nothing for them to read, so I'm going to place bookshelves. Maybe a bit strange to put them in the canteen, but as long as there's some bookshelves in here, We'll place them there, and we'll place them there. And that should hopefully fulfill those needs, because we do have a TV there, but we don't have the literacy needs being fulfilled over here. So now that they're in, that's pretty much okay. Just going to double check as well, because I think someone pointed it out, that in our utilities and then connections, I had not connected up the phone booths. Yeah, we haven't. So from this phone tap here, I will connect up 1, 2, 3, 4 phone booths for the protective custody, so we can figure out what's going on there. In terms of our grants, we are working on 3 grants. It's the Cell Block D, Carpentry Apprenticeship, and Reformed Prisoner Initiative, which we should probably get done this episode, I would imagine. We're on 91%, so another 9 prisoners, and we have successfully done that. In terms of our programs, we are running workshop safety, 2 kitchen safety and hygienes, a carpentry apprenticeship, although not many people are interested, 1 foundation education, 1 general education qualification, behavioural therapy, pharmacological treatment to drug addiction, alcoholics group therapy, guard, taser certification, which I will stop for the time being, parole hearing, which is, lots of them, spiritual guidance, animal therapy, conflict resolution, 3 strikes program, 3 strikes training, reform prisoner consultation, and yeah, we have death row appeal, solar panel development, work safety, or farm work safety, and flower therapy. So the flower therapy is the one we'll be doing in this episode. That's the main focus of it. I'm actually going to build the yard first, because it should be a relatively similar thing to this. In fact, is it the same size? If I go to quick build and clone and designate all of that, is it the same size? It is sadly not. It's a little bit smaller, but that's alright. We can probably make that work. We'll just copy the same design and just sort of squish it down a little bit. There's been some desire for adding some more common room in, because that will mean we can then run some more programs, and also another meeting room. The problem is that a meeting room is, for the most part, in fact I think it all is, it's sort of got civilian and it's civilian / customer facing, so it all comes, they all come this way into this meeting room, whereas all of the others, well, yeah, you want them behind the wall. And the idea was this front section here, this is where we have all of the sort of, I don't know what the best thing to term is, but yeah, all of the like visitors and stuff like that. That's all at the front. So anything else we want to put further back here. So having a meeting room back here sort of breaks that. I guess it breaks the illusion rather than anything else, because there's no big problem with people going through. It's just a bit more secure. I know there's some desire to build some more visitation, and I totally agree. We should probably have almost twice the visitation that we do. And I'm not really too sure the way to fix it. The best solution would be to change up this and this. So move the classroom, say, over to, for example, here, and then move the chapel, should I say, over to here as well, or these 2 buildings. So there's 3 buildings here which I currently don't have any purpose for. I certainly want one of them as a library and the other one as a mailroom. So if I really wanted to, I could just split this right down the middle and have a very big, say, chapel, should I say, and a fairly decent sized classroom, and then the visitation would expand down. That's most likely what we'll do, but I haven't yet really got that set in stone. And yes, this is off center as I mentioned earlier, so yeah, ouch. So we have a lockup currently ongoing. I'm going to speed up to max speed, and there's an overdose there. Looks like they've just been grabbed and taken to the infirmary, which is good. I do want to do a full shakedown and indeed a tunnel search as well. I'd like to do both, but well, shakedown sort of fixes that. We can see that we have lots of people being released early and lots of people who recently have stuff found. And it doesn't seem that they're running out of food. In fact, we got to feed all prisoners, 93.46. Yeah, apparently it was pretty much done. Alright, so once they've got back to their cells, which is about now, we are going to do a full shakedown of all sectors. That is 855 places in total to search. We've found some drugs, a club, a rope, rolling pin, booze, booze ingredient. We found a tunnel, but it wasn't a very large one. But it is a tunnel nonetheless. We found some pickaxes, some booze, batons, clubs, needles. A couple of the clubs and booze in the workshop press and saw area. I really wouldn't want to be... I can't imagine using... I can't imagine booze being a good thing to be consuming while, you know, operating heavy machinery. I've also just realised that all of those are rotated. Have you noticed that? Because we flipped it, these are now facing from right to left rather than left to right. See all the arrows, and also the carpenter tables are the wrong way around. It doesn't matter. It's just the quirk of flipping it around. I don't really have any intention of changing that. And good grief, there's been some violence over here. I'm just going to turn that off there, and I want to try and figure out what on earth's happened. So we've got extremely volatile, we've got strong, we've also got an unknown trait in here who's currently injured, and another unknown trait there, but they're not injured. And a lot of these... No, there's two unknown traits. Attack prisoner, attack staff. I don't know why those guys have kicked off. It seems strange. I mean, it could just be the volatile thing. I think we will, however, do a... Yeah, I think we will probably run some, maybe, intelligence programs to see what can go on there. Anyway, it looks like this is pretty much sorted, so I'm going to put in a yard. In fact, I will put in both yards. I could... Actually, no, don't need to. I'll just clone them. That is going to be the best course of action. So over to our flooring and then to the grass. Grass will be placed there. And to be honest, while I'm at it, we may as well go ahead and place the grass here, because this is going to be our flower therapy and garden area. So let's build that. I'll put the water in as well. So there we are. That's now water. Now, a flowery field. Oh! Hang on. Flowery field can be built on water. Let me see about flower garden. Right, it just says recreational garden area for inmates to grow and take care of plants. Right, I want to cancel all of those. We've probably ordered loads of grass that we're not going to need now, although it will go along the outside eventually. That was always the intent. And we'll go to flooring again, and we'll go for a flowery field. That'll be much better for a flower garden. It'll be like a wild flower garden. Good for the bees, and bees are good. Bees are very good. And there we are. So while we're cracking on with that, we'll go to our objects in bleachers, and we'll place the bleachers in similar to how those have been placed, which is 1, 2, rotate 3, and then 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of weight benches, and we'll place the weights benches in here. So is it just next to it? It is literally, oh, it's a gap actually. So we've got 1 gap, and then 4, 4, 4, and 4, and then you've got this central section which we have these, which I'm not going to place. I'm not going to place those in the yard because we haven't got them up here. What else can we place in this area? Like a little chess, maybe? Chess table, outdoor chess. I wonder if a small bench like that would work as well. There's only one way to find out, and the fun is in finding out, so I've placed that just to see if that gets done. And oh, there's our flower garden. It looks pretty nice. The levels of contraband in the prison are out of control. Amazing. Speaking of intelligence, let's go to informants, and I'm going to activate Tim Damon, because they have 100% coverage. They know everything that is happening in this facility. So I will wait until they're... Oh, okay, so... I've waited until they've got to the... Where are they? They're in here, yeah. They are chatting in the security, and we can see there are a couple of people who have traits. So this is Frazak Clover, prisoner number 4073743. Sentenced to how many years? We've got 8 years here. For multiple crimes including assaulting an officer and violent disorder. They are now a protective custody prisoner. Back over to intelligence and informants. And it looked like when I was checking from this view, it's like, oh, okay, interesting. We've got this supplier and foodie that's got a hit on them, but it's not. It's actually this person just behind them. This is Leaf Red, sorry. And we've seen them earlier. I think they were one of the ones that, yeah, I think those were there in this cell here, I think it might have been. Something like that. Anyway, we will go ahead and we'll protect custody of those as well. 381822 is their prisoner number, and sentenced for 13 years for trafficking. Alright. Open foundations and remove tunnels. We will remove the tunnels and then prioritise the removal of that, and then obviously checking out the flooring. We will put in said flooring there, and that one will have to be removed once. Oh, it's actually already been sorted, so there we go. Nice little wildflower garden there. We'll put some hedges around this thing, so it'll look pretty good. And also, we'll run some water to this, so we can run some fountains. So we'll see what that's like. This will have a nice yard as well. We need to achieve 100 reformed prisoners after release. Curiously, only one so far. Only one so far. Oh my god! Look at all, look at all the grass, turf. I may have to alter that. I may have to do something about that. I'm just selling a lot of these solar panels because we're never going to use them. And obviously we're very short on money, as you can clearly see. We've only got 163,000. So yeah. Looks like the chest tables are in. And the bookshelves are in there as well. And there's an overdose, but I thought it said tunnel, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm hopeful that there's the right amount of laundry here. It seems that like there's the right amount of laundry, but we shall see. Anyway, flower garden. Let's go for flower, and we'll designate all this is. No, we won't do anything of such. One of our more charismatic inmates has become something of a religious evangelist, and others seem to be coming from around to their way of thinking. Not necessarily a problem, but our prisoners may soon have to deal with more spiritual needs. It did zoom over here. Right. Well, we are able to fulfill those spiritual needs. This legendary prisoner here, I'm just going to end the punishment and just let them go back. Well, I said let them go back here. They will go back here. Deployment is set for these, which is fine. I think then we'll go back to what we were doing, which is flower garden. So I'll designate all of that as flower garden. Then I'll cut it off through the middle, which will then give us 2 flower gardens. And that's it. You technically don't need anything else. But what I'm doing is just zooming down and just seeing what we can place in here. I guess walls. We could place some white picket fence. Don't think that's the way forward. I'm going to place some hedging and let's just see what we can do. There's no real sort of rhyme or reason why I'm building it like I am. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 5. 5, 5. And we don't really need this little bit in there, but the idea of the entranceway has been completely opposed like that. Okay, there's that in. Sunflowers, rose bushes, hydrangeas, heather. We'll have in this corner some heather. In this, some hydrangea. We got some mixed begonias. I'll put in there. Hang on a minute. I was wrong. Something like that. Right. Where were we? It was it mixed begonias here? Plant flower. I think that was mixed begonias. Same on the other side. In the centre, rose bushes. And then some lovely sunflowers. Sunflowers. And Is there anything else we really need? Not really a big fan of those, like the wheelbarrow planters. And the topiary. Can we place some topiary? It's got a warden. And a swan. Do you want to place some of these in? So we've got a cat there, got a warden, got a swan, got a deer, got a dog, a T-Rex. I'll just place some of those in. It's just a bit of everything, and then I'm just going to clone it up here. Now, got a bit of fighting going on over there. Extremely volatile, Tom Gall. Now, there's no lighting in here, which I think, if we were to put in some lighting, would benefit this thing. So, we've got floodlights, but I don't think that's the way forward. Light green and light red lamp, floodlights, light solar. Turns on automatically at night time. Oh, that would be good to build some of these. What I'll do then, I'm going to remove... Ah, darn it. Right, you know what? Cancel that. Let me... I'll put the plants in, then I'll rip some of them out. I also expect we'll need a couple more gardeners here. And also a couple more cooks for some reason. We were down to 7. Just curious. So it was this side, it was mixed begonias, I believe. There you are. And... oh, actually, you know what? Do I place just solar lights? That's the solar light walls. And so they're like, oh, that'll be nice. So they're basically like they're inside the hedges. That might be quite nice. Well, that's what I'm doing, so... they're also apparently quite expensive. Facing that way. That way, that way, that way, that way. But the solar, so this should just sort of come on automatically. There's the topiary. Brilliant, brilliant. Right, I think we should go to programs then, and flower therapy, start programs. There it is. 53 interested. I'll just run 2 of them. No one's running on. No one's going on it yet, but it may change. We'll see when the program actually runs. It says led by a gardener in a flower garden. There you go. Money, again, we're struggling with on just under 200,000. Good grief. And we've got lots of seeds. Oh, there you go. Is this flower therapy? Watering flower. Is this flower therapy? It says they're running it, but they're running it there. Brilliant. Just ideal. Perfect. Right, quick build clone. Then rotate, rotate. And click. Estimated price, not much, because it's just hedges. That's about it. Yeah, they're running flower therapy over there, even though we built this one. By the way, I built this one mainly because it's the right way up, if that makes sense. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it just I found it easy to build. It's quite nice, that, though. While we're on a quick build and cloning as well. And there we are. There's that. That guy's due some solitary. We may actually need some more solitary at some point. It's possible. I also don't know why that guy there is not. I mean, he's still shackled up. This guy here. End punishment. Just get back to where he should be. He should be in here. Let me just double check the deployment. The deployment's all correct. Don't know what's going on there. Anyway, this is now built. So, if I check flower therapy again, got one person. One person who wants to go on it, even though there's loads interested. Prison architect. Oh, look at that! All those lights are on. That's very nice. I like that. Good. Right, let's finish off the fountain. So it is objects and fountain. This is water fountain. Water spout. Where is it? Don't need a shed or a crop sprinkler. Huh. Where is it then? Ornate lanterns, chandeliers. Getting a bit far off track, aren't we, prison architect? I can't find it, but then again, I'll need to expand it because there's so much stuff in the game. Look at all that. Cactuses, cacti? Nah. Traditionally, we used to put an electric chair in the middle for some sort of centerpiece, although it doesn't seem to be that appropriate. It was never appropriate at the best of times. Boxing ring. Camera pillar. That's really good. Outdoor tree planter. Sunken tree planter for growing trees indoors. Ooh, that's good. There we go. Fountain. Needs to be placed in water. 1, 2, 3, 4. It says it needs to be connected up as well, but I don't know if you can run water to it. I mean, you must be able to. They're detecting something there, are they? Okay. I'll see about that. I'm just going to run the... Oh, good grief. Snitch. Benny Irons. We just didn't know. Must have been a recent arrival. Anyway, I'm going to run this down, and I'm going to connect up... Oh! Okay, strange. Fountain. Place in water to create a relaxing fountain feature. Can be built on water. Ah, right, so you don't need to run pipework. I thought you actually need to run pipework to it. And there we go. We have our flower garden. I mean, you can't see it. But we have our flower garden. Alright. Pretty good. So, we've built quite a bit. We've got the yards in. We've got all the little changes and alterations made where appropriate. It's still not finished, I should point out. There's almost certainly still bits that I've missed and some things I want to chop and change. And there is 2 tunnels there. But happy with the flower garden and the centerpiece. That's pretty good. Okay, so I think we are going to leave it there for this episode. Next episode, I'm going to do a bit of an overhaul. It's going to be an overhaul episode. And I think it's time we move the chapel and the classroom right back here. Most likely chapel and then classroom. These 2 rooms will become most likely a mailroom and probably... a mailroom and probably a library, but I'm very tempted to split it up and have another 2 rooms in there, and I'm not entirely sure what those could be. Most likely it will be maybe an extra laundry or something, maybe another cleaning cupboard. I haven't yet decided, but having those, do we really need it? No, because, well, if we check out jobs, that's distribution, prison labour, we can assign more people to that anyway, so it doesn't seem to be really a useful thing. So yeah, I'm not too sure exactly what we're going to put in these buildings, but we'll overhaul it and make it better. And then I'm going to expand the visitation down to the bottom. I think that's most likely the best course of action. So overall, happy with our progress, and we'll crack on with that. And I may even alter this. It's going to require the moving of a lot of these items, but I'm sure we can figure something out. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed the episode and for what it is the series thus far. We have now got a returning prisoner there. This is Richard chapel. There you are, returning prisoner. But yes, overall pretty happy with this. And what on earth? A riot is underway. Confidential informant. What on earth has caused a riot? Okay, we'll also go through all of these and figure out why that has happened. Although I'm guessing the extremely volatile thing has happened. That guy's confidential informant, but I should point out, not known as a snitch. So I don't know what's gone on there. Either way, first riot. It doesn't feel like it was overly... well, danger level is high, but it didn't feel like we were close to a riot, and it didn't exactly last very long, but it is what it is. There you are. Anyway, as I said, we're going to leave it there for now. Next episode, we will crack on with... Oh, green energy goal complete. Good. And yeah, we'll crack on with the overhaul that I mentioned. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed the episode and for what it is, the series thus far. Comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.